Should you take the SAT or the ACT? I get asked this question all the time, and there are definitely pros and cons to whether you should take each exam. The SAT has a math, reading, and writing section, whereas the ACT has a math, reading, writing, and science section. And each is scored out of 36 on the ACT and 800 on the SAT for a total of 1600. So the ACT is particularly applicable if you're a student who's interested in science, because you can increase your composite score by taking a science section, which you may be good at, whereas the SAT does not have that extra science section. Another factor to consider that not too many people know about is that the ACT, you can literally take the exam 20 times and delete the previous 19 scores. Whereas the SAT, once you take it, it's essentially locked into your record. However, the SAT does allow you to use score choice, which allows you to send specific SAT scores from a single setting. So imagine that you did really poorly your first setting, but you did better your second and third, and you want to super score or take the highest scores from each section from the SAT. You can use score choice to send the sittings from your second and third sitting and super score those scores to show to the colleges. So there are pros and cons to whether you should take the SAT or the ACT. Generally speaking, I recommend that if you're a student who gets really nervous before an exam, you might want to give your hand a try at the ACT because it allows you to delete all the previous scores. Whereas for the SAT, you can't really do that, but you could use score choice to send specific scores from a single setting. In addition, one question that I get asked a lot is, how many times am I allowed to take the exam? So for the ACT, it doesn't quite matter because you could delete all your previous scores. Whereas for the SAT, we really recommend not taking the exam more than 2 or 3 times. The common application actually asks how many times you took the exam. And so the more times you take it, the more of a diminishing value that your score reflects on your application. So for the SAT, we generally recommend taking the exam no more than 2 or 3 times. After your 3rd time, you should really just hang it up and report your highest super score for that particular exam. If you want more tips and advice on college admissions, definitely hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel.